Hello, everyone. We are just gonna take a couple of minutes to make sure everyone can join. And while I am doing that, I'm gonna copy and paste a couple of helpful links here in our chat. These are links that you'll want to bookmark for later. All right, it looks like we haven't had anyone join in a couple of minutes. So just to introduce myself, I am Dominic. I am on the support team. Been with the company for little over 2 years now. So just like everyone else, I started, where you're at the beginning, trying to figure out the platform. But my goal is to break down the platform in a way that's easy to understand. That way you feel more comfortable navigating around and making any changes that you need. All right, so I am going to share my screen. All right, so welcome to our Luxury Presence Basic webinar. Few notes, everyone is muted to prevent any audio feedback, and please use the Q&A window for any questions. If there's something that we go over that you have a question about, feel free to submit it as a Q&A. And once we go through the platform, I'll be able to answer all of those questions. So if there's something that comes to mind, don't feel like you have to wait until the end to post your question. All right, so a few things that we're going to be going over just for our agenda. We are going to go over logging into the platform, navigation, tools and features, the how to contact the Luxury Presence support team, and then we'll have our Q&A session. So just to summarize how to reach support, phone's always going to be the quickest and easiest way to reach out to us. However, if you're working in the platform, the live chat feature in the lower right-hand corner is very convenient. We do have some tools where we're able to record our screens, or we're able to create custom walkthroughs of the edits you're currently working on. So I always like to toot our horn as far as chats go. And then of course, emailing your requests over to support@luxurypresence.com. That's going to automatically create a case and reroute it to the next available representative. So the links that I copied and pasted in the chat, those are going to be important to bookmark. The first one is going to be the platform to log in. And the second one is going to be our knowledge base. So any edits that can be done in the platform are going to live in the knowledge base. And it has a really helpful search feature there to where you're able to search for anything that you're trying to do. All right, so let's get started with a tour of the platform. And we are going to start, once we click on that link, app.luxurypresence.com, it's going to take you to a login screen. It's going to ask for your username and your password. In the event that you can't remember your password, you can click the link here to reset. In the event that you do all of those things and you're still not getting a reset password email, always a good idea to check in with support to make sure that you're added as a user. All right, so just gonna log in here. I believe this is my password. Here we go. Looks right. Okay, so once you are logged in, it's going to default to the dashboard here. So real quick, as a brief overview, once we log in, we're going to look at this left-hand navigation. So depending on your permissions, these may look a little bit different. Admin users are going to have the same view that I have, and we'll just go over that really quick. Sorry, so the first one is dashboard. This is just going to give you a brief overview of what's going on with your website. Second one is going to be contacts. Third is going to be content. Next is going to be listing feeds. Then we have websites, presentations, and we will go over these in detail, no worries. Reporting, your notifications, and your profile. All right, so starting at the dashboard here, this is going to contain any sort of updates to your reporting, your leads, and any features that we have here. So first you'll see your welcome message here, and the next section is going to be tutorials, how to create property websites, how to create listing presentations. Any sort of tips are going to be right here, and these can change at any point as well. As we go a little bit further down, we have our popular tools here, the digital CMA, the property website, and the listing presentations. So just a quick overview, one-click property sites. These are for you to easily create a website for every listing if you wanted to do so. Listing presentations, these are going to be professional presentations so that you can help win more listings. These are a lot of times shared on social media. And then you have our digital CMA where you're able to generate those reports and pull that accurate data for your clients. So a little bit further down are the insights. These are going to be key metrics for your website. You'll be able to see things such as total amount of visitors, and as you go further down, you have your lead events. So here you're able to see of your leads, where are they coming from? You can see contact inquiries, home valuation, MLS login is going to be the home search tool. And then a little bit further down, we have lead activity. This is just going to be a brief overview of any sort of activity from recent leads. Feel free to ignore the timeline on here because this is not an actual site. All right, so the next section we have is going to be contacts. This is where you're able to view and manage your leads. So here under contacts, we have your traditional leads. If any leads are archived or marked as spam, you can click that button there to show which leads are archived. If you need to unarchive a lead, you can just select it and then click the unarchive button. A little bit further down, this is lead routing. This is where you set up rules for how your leads are routed. CRM integrations, this is where you're able to integrate with your CRM. And just as a note, if it's a direct integration, like something like Follow Up Boss or Compass, you will see that here. If it's a CRM that we can't directly integrate and we have connected through Zapier, this section will be blank, but it doesn't mean that it's not connected. And then events, this is going to be where you can track lead interactions and activities. The next section, the content section, this is where you're going to spend a lot of your time. The top is going to be agents. This is where you can manage agent bios and contact information. And just as a note, if you have an admin role, you will edit user details in an alternative section. So I'll show you where that is later when you're looking at logins. Next is going to be teams. This is where you can organize teams and their information. We see this a lot of times when we have agencies that have multiple cities where they have offices. The teams and the offices are going to go hand in hand. This is where you can really, if need be, separate that content out by team. Blog posts, this is where you're going to create and manage blog content. Developments, this is where you can create details on any developments that you are representing. Neighborhoods, this is where you would highlight neighborhood features and information. We already kind of briefly went over offices. Press releases, this is going to publish any sort of press releases that you may have. Properties, this is where you're going to list and manage your properties. In the event that you needed to edit something, you would do so here by clicking on the property itself. And then testimonials. This is where we would collect and display those client testimonials or reviews. All right, the next section is going to be listing feeds. This is where you're able to create and manage any sort of marketing or referral leads. And then there's also the option to join feeds as well, if you go down to discover. Just as a general rule of thumb, there is a maximum of 100 users per listing feed. A common question that we get here in support is, why can I not join the listing feed? That may be one of two reasons. Either the listing feed is full, or the agent that created the listing feed has not approved or denied them access to that feed. All right, fifth tab on the left is going to be websites. This is where you manage your different types of websites. You have property websites, brand websites, agent websites, and then self-service if you have those. That's another type of property website. All right, so this is also where you're going to access the website builder. You can manage any sort of pages, SEO details, menu and header items, any sort of footer edits, things like that. So if you needed to edit the website, you would just click on the pencil icon to edit. If you wanted to view the website, you can click on the eye. And just as a heads up, the advanced webinar that we do host goes further into detail within the website builder. So if that's something that you're interested in, we hold those webinars on Thursdays. All right, in the presentation section, you're able to create professional presentations to win more listings. You're able to create these presentations using templates that are pre-set up. And just as a heads up, a lot of these templates aren't customizable at this time, but that's something on the radar for the future. All right, reporting. This is the reporting section. Provides details analytics on your performance of your website. So first thing is the website visits. That's where we're able to see those visit statistics. As we go further down, we have traffic channels. This is where you're able to understand where your traffic is coming from. We have device data in the middle. This is where we're able to understand what type of device a user is using to visit the website. And then to the right, we have popular website pages. The default is always going to be this / here, but that's usually going to be the home page. And then you're able to flip through these pages to see additional pages as well. All right, website traffic time. This is where you're able to see trends as far as when your website is busiest among viewers. Next one down, these are notifications. This is where you're able to stay informed about any sort of updates or activities on your website. You can see there are properties that have synced. So you're able to kind of see those there. Last down here is going to be your profile. And there are two links here to kind of go over. The first is going to be help and support. This is just a link to our help center, the link that I had copied and pasted in the chat at the beginning. If you need to access it from the dashboard, all you have to do is click help and support. And it will open up that help center. If you wanted to know how to, say, edit agent profile, you can just search and it'll pull up articles with step-by-step instructions on how to do those edits. All right, the other link under my profile is going to be settings. Now, under my profile, the most important thing here is going to be the lead alert emails. This is where you can update and edit the lead alert emails. As far as lead routing goes, this is going to be the generalized email here. So really, if we wanted to edit it, it would be email Before saving it, which I'm actually covering up the save button, before saving it, when we're editing a field like this, we always want to hit tab. Come on. There we go. So when you hit tab, it turns it into a box there. And then you would hit save to save changes. Next one down, this is going to be users. This is where you're able to provide access to your team. Anyone that you want to make edits to your platform here. If you wanted to add a new user, you can then select what type of access you would like them to have. If they're already an existing agent in the website, you can usually just select them. And if they're not, say if we wanted to add an admin, we can select a profile, but if not, we can enter the first name, last name, and email address. From there, you would just hit invite and it would invite them to our platform. Going back to that, as we see a little bit further down here for Kevin, we can see here that it says pending invitation. What that means is he was invited to sign up and set up login credentials to the platform, but he has not done so. So in the event that you have someone like Kevin who didn't set up their login credentials, you can simply click on him and click on the resend invite button, and he will get that initial email so that he can get his login credentials set up. If it's somebody like, say if you were assisting me and Dom Hudgens had forgotten his password, at that point we would click reset user password. That's going to send an email to me directly from the platform and walk me through how to change that. A little bit further down is connected accounts. This is where you're able to connect your Instagram account. Just as a heads up, this does require signing in. So a lot of times this is something that you'll want to do on your end. RSS feeds, these are subscription feeds. If you have something like Compass, they have a blog feed. If we needed to add that, this is where we would do so. And the last section is home search settings. This is where you're able to set the map as the default for your home search tool. All right, so I'm going to check out what questions we have. Your invitation to open your account expired. What's the process to update it? Let me see here. Are you okay? So just to clarify, your invitation to open your account, are you referring to your login credential invitation email? Yes, okay. Let me see here. I don't want to share my screen while I do this, but I can probably, are you able to send through your email address in the comments? And while I do that, I will resend those platform links. And yes, once the session is over, it will be emailed over to you. Okay, Alan, give me 1 second. All right, Alan, I'm going to follow up with you via email just so that we don't keep everyone here while I help assist you get logged in. Are there any other questions here that I can assist with while we have this webinar here and live? All right, so I'm going to end the webinar here, but if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to support. We are always here to help. Have a great rest of your day.